All right, welcome. This is a video on how to host your own webinar using the tools that I'm going to talk about in this video. First off, we're going to talk about how you can use WordPress, MailChimp, LeadPages, and Google Plus Hangouts to host your own affordable webinars. As a matter of fact, under $50 to host a webinar or webinars each month using the tools that I'm going to talk about in this video. So let's get started. So the first thing that you need to be able to host your own webinars is WordPress hosting or a self-hosted WordPress website. And we're here on greenhostusa.com, which is a provider of hosting for WordPress websites. And as you can see here on the website, there's a couple of different plans here. You'll want to be looking at the WinPower 1, 2, or 3, depending on how much traffic you think that you're going to have or how many people are going to be attending your webinars. Even though you're going to be using Google Plus Hangouts, you'll still have traffic coming to your website to register for your webinar, and we'll show you how you can do that with LeadPages in an upcoming video here. So you can pick either one of these plans right here. You can see that it starts off at $5.95 on up to $9.95, and then we'll take a look at pricing for LeadPages here in a bit. And that's why I say that it should cost you no more than $50 to host a webinar. However, there are other options with LeadPages, and we'll talk about those that could drive the cost up a little bit more to give you more functionality. But what I'm doing with what I'm using to host my webinars, it's about under $50 to do that with these tools. So you'll want to go ahead and get set up with hosting, and down here at the bottom you can pick your domain name and check it to see if it's available. The domain name registration typically costs about $10 a year. I suggest that if you're serious about webinars, that maybe you register your domain for a couple of years or maybe up to 5 years, just depending on your budget. But that's all you need to do to get started with hosting. And then once you're set, then you're going to install WordPress, and I'll show you how that's done. And I'll show you my website that I host webinars from, which is webinar.dennisjsmith.com, which is a subdomain off of my main website, which is dennisjsmith.com. So let's move on over to that and we'll take a look at that. Okay, so here we are in cPanel, and this is the dashboard once you have a hosting account. This is the backend that is provided so that you can go in and do things like install WordPress, add subdomains, which is a domain before your main domain name, and then also set up things like email accounts and other options that you have. We're going to install WordPress. So we would install if we're installing it on a subdomain, we're going to create that subdomain first, and you just click on the subdomain option under domains, and you would type in the subdomain name. So let's say we were going to do webinars orderprintering.com, and you can see everything looks good by the green check mark. You would hit create, and as long as you have the ability to create domain names or subdomains, it will go in and create that for you, and you'll get this good nice green indicator to let you know that things are okay. So now we can go back, and we can go back to our home page here for the dashboard on cPanel. And your hosting provider will give you information on how to access cPanel. And then cPanel, when you launch it, will give you information to show you how each of these different areas work. So we're going to go in, we're going to find the software area, which is down here. And with Greenhost USA and HostGator, quick install is what you want to look for. On other hosting providers, most likely it's this Fantastico Deluxe that you'll look for. We're going to select quick install for this video, and we're going to do a new install. So we're going to look for blog software. You have other software that you can install to your website, but we're concerned about WordPress, so we're going to install that. We're going to hit continue, It's version 3.92, which at this time is the most current version of WordPress, and you can find that out on wordpress.org. And we don't want to install it over our root directory, our main domain name. We want to install it on this subdomain that we've created. Now you can install it on your main directory too, and there's not a lot that you're going to have to do after you install it, unless you want to make your website look fancy and pretty. But for this particular video, once we're done with this, then I'm going to show you how LeadPages works so that you can create the elements that you need for your webinar, and we'll be done here in just a few minutes with our presentation. So you're just going to type in your email address, your blog title, your admin name, first name and last name, and you're going to hit install, and then it'll take a few moments for it to install. And then once that's done, then it will give you the username and password. It'll create a special password for you to log in. So we're going to go ahead and we'll stop at this moment, and then I will move on over to my website and we'll take a look at logging into WordPress and the dashboard. Okay, so here we are in the dashboard for WordPress, and for security purposes, I haven't started off at the login screen, but when you log into WordPress, you'll see a place where you can enter in your username and password, and now we're at the dashboard, and your dashboard on a fresh WordPress install will look different than my dashboard for my WordPress installation, because I've added plugins for more functionality. So now that we've got this installed, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to move on and we're going to set up a MailChimp account. We'll get that taken care of, and then we'll go into LeadPages and I'll show you how you connect LeadPages with your MailChimp mailing list, and then we will show you how to get a webinar set up. So we still got some few steps to go, but we're almost there. Okay, so here comes the cool part. Now we're at MailChimp.com and we're going to set up an account, and we're here under pricing, and I just want to show you a couple of things. There's the entrepreneur account there for up to 2,000 subscribers, and then there's the growing business and the high volume sender. Well, for now, let's go ahead and take a look at entrepreneur. This is what they call the free forever account, and basically it is free. You don't have to give them any credit card information. You can have up to 2,000 subscribers and send up to 2,000 emails a month. You can upgrade for as little as $10 a month, so it's still very affordable in keeping that cost under $100 a month. So we're going to click on sign up free, or you'll click on sign up free to create your own account. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and I'll log into my account, and I'll just show you how you create a mailing list real quick, and that's all we really need to get started with sending those email addresses or first name or information from LeadPages. That's all we really need. So I'll see you in just a few moments. All right, here we are in the dashboard for MailChimp. So we've created our free forever account, and we need to have the ability to collect email addresses, or email address and first name is typically what most people do, just to make it quick and easy for people to get registered for a webinar. So here are my lists that I have created already. We're going to create a new list by creating the create list button right here, and we want to create a list, and there we are. So we're going to give the list a name. Let's call it webinar attendees, and then the default email address, we can just select one of these, and default name, and then we're going to give people a reminder why they are on our list, and we'll just pick one of these from the previous, and this just says that you're receiving this email message because you opted in, so I notify you when I don't think I've got that quite right there. I'm going to go ahead and pick another one here. So you're receiving this email message because you opted in regarding one of my online courses. You may unsubscribe at any time by going here. So you have to do this, and this is because of the what's called the Can Spam Act, and it's just certain things that you have to do to let people know how they can get off your list if they opt in. And so everything looks good right here. I want notifications. I want them daily instead of one by one. And then I'm going to hit save so that when we get into LeadPages, we'll be able to see that. So we're done with that. I mean, that's all we really need to do. I mean, there are other things that you can see here, like reporting and creating forms that you can embed into your website. But this is all we need because LeadPages is already connected to MailChimp for us, or will be when you have a LeadPages account. So we'll go ahead and move over to LeadPages now and check that out. Okay, here we are at leadpages.net, and I'm in leadpages.net, and I'm in pricing, so I can show you the different choices that you have for monthly accounts or annual or 2-year billing. So we're in monthly. This is where you're going to get the ability to pay month by month, and standard is $37. And you can see that's really all you need to be able to do these webinars that we're putting together. You can go with Pro and you can get most of the features right there for $67 a month, or you can go over to annual billing and just click on annual billing, and that will get you the annual pricing. And you can see if you pay by annual payments or once a year, then your price drops down to $25 for this standard, or Pro drops down to 40. And if you take it all the way out to 2 years, then you're only paying $17 a month, which is really affordable for a 2-year plan. Or the Pro, where you get most everything except for the coaching, it averages out to about $34 a month over the course of 2 years. So it's going to be a larger sum that you pay up front. And let's see if we scroll down here. Well, it doesn't give us a total there, but you can figure out the math on that to figure out how much it'll be for 1 year or 2 years. But I'm just showing you this because it gets more affordable. Now I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and log into my LeadPages account, and I will show you what the back end looks like, and I'll show you some of these things that you can do with LeadPages. About the only other thing that you need is Google Plus Hangouts, which is going to give you the ability to broadcast your webinar live and give you what is called the embed code from those YouTube videos that are going to be broadcasted from Google Hangouts. And that's what is going to broadcast your webinar on these pages that we're going to create. So I will see you in a few moments. So I spoke a little soon in the last video, and before we actually go in and talk about LeadPages, on getting that set up, first of all, we're going to go into Google Plus. If you have a Google account, then you already have a Google Plus account. It will show up here in the upper right in the menu with a little plus symbol right there. And then from the drop down menu right here, you're going to select Hangouts over here to the left, and that is going to load the Hangouts menu. We're going to try to launch a live Hangout here. So I'm going to come on the air briefly. So you're going to start a Hangouts on air to broadcast a live Hangout or webinar. And this is what you're going to do in order to create the code to embed into your LeadPages. So we're just going to type in test here because this will actually, we're going to go later here. I'm just going to take these out of here, but this is how you would pick your audience right here. And I'm just going to pick someone here from my list here. They're more than likely not online. Hit share. It's going to most likely make this private, I believe. But when you send out to your larger list, it'll go public. You can add a trailer if you want. So a trailer rolls before your actual Hangout. And then when you hit start, it's going to launch the Hangout, and I should come up on the screen here in just a few moments. I'm not going to go into too much detail on Google Hangouts because you can go into Hangouts and learn more and see how it works with your web camera and your audio. And we're going to skip inviting guests. And you can now see me on the screen there. So here I am, and here we are with, we want to do, when we're ready, we're off the air right here. This is a test webinar, and this is where we're going to, this is where you would adjust audio and things like that. Here are your menu options on things that you can do. Here's the start broadcast right there. It says we're about to go live, and we're going live. And then you're going to grab the embed code, and just, this has changed just a little bit, so I'm just trying to find out where, there we go, right here in the bottom right there, links. And this is what you're going to grab right here, is the video embed code. This is what you're going to put into LeadPages when we talk about that in just a few moments. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this broadcast. So remember to copy the embed code from this page and paste it actually before you hit that start broadcasting. So you're going to come here to links first, and then you're going to go on the air. You can see over here that we're off the air right now, but you want to do that before you go live. So I'm going off camera right now, and I'm going to edit the event here. I'm going to delete this so nobody comes to the page here. I'll go ahead and come back to that and delete that later, but this is the page that you can set up on Google to let people know that you're having a webinar, and you'll have to post a link to the page that you're creating on your website. Otherwise, the only thing that they're going to see here is your webinar being broadcasted on YouTube, and they're not going to have the ability to do live chat and things like that with you. You can do that with Google Hangouts. They have the ability to do that, but the way that we're talking about setting this up with LeadPages gives you some better features with sharing things out onto social media sites like Twitter, Facebook, and Google Plus, rather than just sharing it out on Google Plus. So we're done with this, and I'm going to go ahead and we'll stop this portion of the video, and we'll continue in just a moment. Okay, so here we are in the dashboard for LeadPages, and we've already talked about how to set up your hosting account by using something like Greenhost USA or HostGator. There's also GoDaddy and other ones that are out there, and I'll list some of those hosting companies here within side of the blog post that you're watching this video from. If you're watching it from YouTube, then I've named off a few of those there that you can take a look at by going to their website. We've also talked about the MailChimp account, setting that up. We've talked about how you go into Google Plus and start the broadcast of your Hangout. Grab that embed code. You can grab it from YouTube. Here's my video from a webinar that I recorded, and there's the embed code. So you'll find it there too after you broadcast a webinar, so that you can use one of the templates for broadcasting replays. And there's many different templates here. As you go into your dashboard, you can click on webinar pages, and this replay is the newest one. And there's several options here on creating sign up pages and countdowns and broadcasting your webinar. So I'm going to show you a few of those that I've created. Here's one that I created for a webinar on growing, or how to grow your audience with social media, MailChimp, and WordPress. And this is already expired. Otherwise, you would see a countdown there. And then when somebody clicks on register now, all they have to do is fill in their information and then hit the button there, and they're good to go. And then click on this reserve your spot right there, and for some reason, there we go. And then what it does is it goes over here to this confirmation page, and these are all set up using LeadPages. And this is probably going to start a video here just to let, so you can see what it does there. What it does is it just lets people know that thank you for signing up for the webinar. It's something that LeadPages developed. They can share out this page so other people can register. They can click on their favorite calendar and send that to their calendar for a reminder. And then with MailChimp, you can send them out a reminder, set it up with autoresponders. Now, autoresponders or automated messages, that is not available with the free forever account, but on that $10 upgrade, I believe that you can get that. Let's just go through some of these other pages here. It'll take just a moment for some of these to load. This is one here, grow your audience with social media, MailChimp, and WordPress. This is just another way that you can get people to sign up with the countdown. They can add comments here and share them to Facebook if they want, so that's kind of a cool thing. Or here's another thank you page, invite a friend. And when they click on one of these buttons, it will share it with their Twitter account or with their Facebook account. And it takes just a moment to load, and then here it is right there, and then you can click on tweet and send that out to Twitter. I'm going to go ahead and close that. We'll move on to the next one here. Here's a live Hangout page. So this is where you would put in your embed code over on the lead page over here. Let's just go back to that and I'll show you how that's done. Here's one of the pages that you can use. So let's just say we're using this template right here. Let them know what industry you're in. Takes just a moment. They've changed the way that this works. It's really cool, and it allows you to design the page very easily. Takes a few moments to load. Let's go just grab this embed code right here, and you can do a right click if you want, or a Control C. Come back here, click on the video area. This is going to come up, and then Control V. And just like that, we're done with the video area. We can click on these elements right here, and we can change them. We can scroll down here. Here's the Facebook like button. You can see how it changes there over to the left as we hover over these. Here's a button here. I believe this is what, well, it's called the action area, but they call these a magic buy button too. You can set these up a lot of times to show up in a certain amount of time into the webinar or the replay. And then this here just says that the replay will be removed on this date right here. Here's the Facebook commenting, or this is actually chat roll. So you can use chat roll from chatroll.com too. And that's all you need to do. So basically you need your registration page, and then you need a thank you page, and then you need the live page. Let them know where they're going to watch the webinar when the day of the webinar comes around. And then you'll most likely want to put in a video in there and just let them know that, hey, you've shown up a little bit early. The webinar will be on this date at this time, just to remind them, you know, to come back at that date and time. And then set up MailChimp to send them out an email to remind them. You can use other mail services out there too. There are other mail services. If you go to dennisjsmith.com/MailChimp, I have a course that is a 6-video series on MailChimp, but there's also a report on 5 other email marketing applications out there like Aweber and Constant Contact, if you want to try something like that too. Now, those services don't have a free forever plan like MailChimp does, but you can certainly check those out. This page that we're looking at right now is the newest replay template that LeadPages created, and there you can see my last webinar with the nice Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus buttons there. This will pop up at a certain time into the webinar, letting people know that they can register for a new course that I have on udemy.com on WordPress. So if you want to get more into WordPress marketing, just go to udemy.com and type in the marketing with marketing with WordPress. I'm sorry, the name escaped me there for just a moment. But you can type that in and search for it. Look for Dennis J. Smith, and that will bring you to the course. And I'll also put a link in this article if you're interested in learning more about marketing specifically with WordPress. So these are just some of the ways that you can broadcast a webinar. There are other ways out there like runclick.com, which is software that I use too to broadcast webinars. So there are different ways that you can do that are very affordable. But I wanted to show you specifically in this blog post how you can do that with these different tools and keep it under $50 to broadcast webinars, $50 a month to broadcast webinars. So I hope you enjoyed the video and that you learned something, and maybe someday I will elaborate more and teach a course on Udemy on putting on your own, hosting your own webinars with some of the other tools that are out there. Thank you.